What you just witnessed was a natural phenomenon called being an idiot. Hello buddies, it's me Pinkink. Oh, my microphone. Instead of cleaning my room like I thought I was gonna do today, I'm gonna edit the video procrastinating while still being productive. Anywho, but it iseth the Christmas month, so that means every year I do like this Christmas drawing thing. It's basically the same thing I did for the Halloween drawing, but it's Christmas! Oh, look at that, my dragon thing glows. Ignore the random crap that's on screen right now. Oh, my eyes. Anyways, I'm gonna be drawing like my characters that is from a story called Amy's Venture to the Unknown. I used to draw those characters a lot in the beginning of my channel, but then the Taylor Jessie content kind of took over. And since that happened, I kind of haven't drawn them that much, and I actually ended up redesigning the characters and kind of redesigning the story as well, just kind of starting over a little bit. I can already hear my dad just yelling at me like, why did you do that? I don't know. Anyways, this is the drawing that started it all. I don't have it filmed or anything because this was before I had my channel. And the second one I did film, so it's in a playlist somewhere. I probably linked it in the corner. The third one, yay! And then we have the one from last year. I didn't really like it at the time, but at the same time I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but let's redraw it. Oh, and by the way, I'm about to show you guys the redesigned versions of the characters. Nothing too crazy though, because I'm still working on it, so you guys only get pretty much like headshots of them. Yay. Oh my gosh, my children are so different, and yet you can still tell it's them, so yippee. Chester's pretty much the same though, because I've always loved him. He's my child. Anywho, you guys know the drill. While you're watching this video, take the time to, if you're an artist, go draw something, or maybe do your chores like I was supposed to, but whatever. Actually, no one told me to do my chores. I just feel like I need to clean my room, but like, whatever. Basically, what I'm trying to say is go do something productive while this video plays in the background. Anywho, so every year I slightly change the pose, because it'd kind of be boring if I redrew it exactly the same every year. But this year I feel like I drastically changed it, because last year Chester and Silk, which are the two people in the middle, sorry, I'm gonna correct myself, they're not people, they're called Crinians in the universe. It's gonna trigger me if I don't say something. Anyways, but last year they were kind of holding hands a little bit, like just by their pinkies or whatever, but this year, you're gonna see later in the video, they're just full on interacting, and I'm like, oh, that was a big jump. Good on them. They're not kissing or anything. I did think about that, but I just didn't for some reason. Drawing characters kissing are really hard. I've tried to draw that. Anyways, oh, and it took me 4 years to realize what mistletoe actually looks like, because like each year, there's like little mistletoe at the top of the page. Sorry, I'm like overthinking every single word I'm saying right now. But like each year, it looked like 3 leaves in my head with 3 little red circle things. But no, it looks like this. I thought those were red, but no, they're this light yellow beige color thing. How? So yeah, and I also think it's funny that last year I misspelled Christmas. So I was really trying not to misspell Christmas this year, because I do not know how I misspelled it last year. I'm just a little special, guys. Oh, and little random thing. It's December, but where I live, it's still really hot, so I wear shorts every day. Like, we do not get the cold at all, so I just checked, and apparently it's 77 degrees outside, which I guess is a little bit colder, because usually it's like 80 something, I don't know. Anyways, enough small talk and talking about literally the freaking weather. I'm gonna talk about my drawing process. Yippee! Anyways, but for this drawing, I almost always use pencil as kind of like a skeleton first, because usually I use a colored pencil to like draw, but it's harder to erase the colored pencil. So I end up just using the graphite pencil first, because that's way easier, as kind of more of a baseline, and then I go in with my like colored pencil, because I do like how the colored pencil looks more with the markers, because since I have to fit like multiple characters in one page, I have to get all their proportions right, so I kind of just like block it out with the pencil first, and then when I'm ready and think that the drawing looks good, I just go in with my colored pencil and kind of make it more detailed. I'll continue talking about my process later on when I actually get to it, but for now, I'm just gonna talk about why I changed their character designs and like why I felt like the need to do so. Alright, so if you don't know, I have 10 stories, but my first story was Amy's Adventure into the Unknown, and that's the characters I'm drawing today. I first made this story when I was 10, 11-ish, and that's kind of just what I put my heart and soul into at the time. This all lasted about like till 2023-ish. But then I kind of started falling off of the story because I just made too many stories, and then the Tale of Jessie started kind of just living in my mind more than the other story. Like, don't get me wrong, I still really like this story, and it's like my first babies, and I would never throw this thing away. I like how I just called my baby a thing. Anyways, but as I got older, I got more ideas and also saw a lot of problems with Amy's adventure into the unknown. Like a ton of plot holes and just things that didn't make sense. And I'm also not 11 anymore, so it was just hard to make the story make sense with all... There was just too many things in the story. There's too many characters, too many side stories. It just got so distracted from the plot that's like, what's even going on anymore? Like, what do you mean the king, the main villain, has a son, and the king decided to duplicate his son 1,000,000 times, and now there's over 100 versions of his son, and they all have names with the letter P? What? And what do you mean Rain has a brother, and the brother's really flirty, and then started flirting with Vivi Star's cousin, but then she didn't like him, and then they ended up like doing the whole Dolores Encanto thing where, like, remember in that movie? I'm going on a really big tangent. What the frick am I talking about? But you see what I mean? There's so many random things that don't serve anything for the plot. It's just for funsies kind of thing. And I don't know. It's fun to have the little side stories, but it's like when it takes away so much from the actual main plot that you don't even know what's going on anymore. It's like, okay, I think you need to rethink this. And you could also just make the argument of, why don't you just get rid of the side stories and keep the characters the same? Why are you redesigning the whole thing? Well, like I said earlier, I'm not 11 anymore, and I've grown to not really like the characters that much. I don't really like the main characters, and I never even liked Amy, which she is the main character. She had no personality. She was just your day-to-day normal kid. I didn't even know what she liked. All I knew was cats. Yeah, sure, that's a good thing. Like, that's it. And also felt like she was just being dragged along by the plot. At this point, Chester might as well have been the main character. Like, I feel like Amy was just me, but like dialed back and with some of my humor. And that was kind of it. Which is kind of funny because Amy is actually based off of my cousin. So I feel like it should have been my cousin's personality, but like, it's just not. And I remember bringing this all up to one of my friends a while ago. Well, it was a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a stream and she was talking on the stream with me. But she was just like, oh, well, why don't you just take a break from that story, kind of just put it on the shelf for a bit, and just take a break from it, because right now you can't really see what you want to change just because you're so attached to it. So maybe just take a break from it and then come back to it later with fresh eyes, you know? And at the time, I'm like, no, I don't want to throw away my child. Like, I know, I don't want to put it in the back burner, you know? Because this was the first story I've ever made. And I know, like, this is the story I wanted to make a show. This is the story I wanted to put my heart and soul into, you know? Which, right now, it's seeming more of Tale of Jessie, but this was the first story I made, you know? But then I kind of just subconsciously stopped thinking about it, because I stopped thinking about new kind of scenarios for that story, because I have this whole list and like this notes app of just like ideas for the story, and I have not touched that little notes app. I have not added a new idea in there in quite a while, because in my mind there was nothing more to add. The story was done, you know? Which I feel like is kind of funny, because you guys don't really know the story that well. Like, there's a lot in that story, and I am not going to explain all of it to you, because that would be like a 3-hour long special or something. And there was just so much that it would just be extremely hard to organize. And also, like, it was just kind of hard to tell the story in like a certain order, because how I told the story to other people is I would tell the characters individually. Like, I would be like, okay, this is Amy, this is her deal, this is Rain, this is about her, and then Chester's is like the longest story. You know, it's not just a continuous like, okay, this happens with this character, and then the next day this happens. It's like I kind of tell it in the own individual characters' lives and not one big story, which that might be a little bit of a problem. What I'm trying to say is that story has too many problems for me to just individually fix like everything. So I'm just my friend said just throw everything in the trash and take out the stuff that I like, metaphorically, of course. And so a few months later, that's what I did mentally. I kind of just like, at first like right now, it's still very in the beginning stages because, you know, I like I said, I have 10 stories, so Amy's Venture into the Unknown is not in the front of my brain right now. The Tale of Jessie is, but it is still there. But with the little that I have worked on, I have worked on the 4 main characters of the story and tried to make it that I actually like them, which that consists of Amy, Vivi Star, Silk, and Rain. So now I'm going to go over the new versions of the characters and see the differences between the new and the old versions. And keep in mind, everything that I'm about to say can change because it's still very much in the beginning stages, so something I might say might change, I don't know, in a couple months. Like, let's say I like, for example, this one character likes ice cream, but a couple months later I'm like, nope, they like burgers or something random like that. Trying to say is this is how they are right now, but they might change, so yeah. So, of course, we gotta start with Amy, the main character. So, what I didn't like was, as already stated, she was just very plain to me and had no really personality. She was kind of just plain. And I realized I tend to traumatize my characters that I really like. So I'm like, With the new Amy, I didn't really do anything to traumatize her specifically. She's just different now. She's emo. No, I'm just kidding. Well, some of the kids at her school probably have called her that. Anyways, she's, as my friend says, angsty Amy or something, which kind of makes me cringe a little bit, but that's basically what it is. But I just feel like I want the main character to have something to, like, kind of... I want Amy to have character development. I want her to have some sort of issue that throughout the story we can work on and make her just a better person. Random side note, I think during the drawing I was getting really tired and I don't know, I think I was tweaked out. I'm already seeing problems with this drawing. I want to point them all out right now, but if I do, you guys will see the problems too. Yay. It's okay, past Pinkink. I actually really like how the drawing turned out, so I give you headbats for keeping on the drawing and just you didn't give up. Anyways, but for the new version of the story, I imagine Amy's parents to kind of be like a bit of pushovers a little bit. I'm debating if like Amy might have had an older brother, but he's gone now. I'm not quite sure what happened to him or if I will even make it that she had a brother. But the parents blame themselves for what happened to him and he's no longer living on this earth anymore. And they're just scared that they might mess up Amy as well and they just feel like they're horrible parents, you know? So they try everything in their power to just be good parents, but they're not really sure how to and they just feel like every single thing that they're doing is wrong. Because they get calls very often from the school, from the principal, of just talking kind of bad about Amy, of just like, oh, she did this today, she hit a kid today, she did this and this, she's in detention, you need to pick her up, kind of thing. And also just the parents of the other kids kind of being like, oh, you need to talk to your daughter, she did this to my son, or whatever, you know? So they're kind of like, oh no, you know? So they try to talk to Amy and they're like, hey, you can't be doing that, like, why did you hit him, or whatever? And she's always like, I didn't start it, they hit me, you know? Like, I imagine she kind of gets bullied, but she doesn't really care. She only cares when it gets physical. She does not care what they call her. Like, she's like, I don't really care about other people. Just don't hit me and, like, don't initiate anything, because that's when you get in trouble, you know? Because I imagine what Amy's flaw is just that she just thinks she's right and everyone else is wrong. Not in the, oh, I'm right and you're wrong, my opinion is the only one that matters. It's more of the, like, okay, whatever you say, but I'm gonna still do my own thing. I don't really care, you know, kind of thing. She's not stuck up about it. She just thinks that everyone else is in the wrong and that everything happens bad to her for some reason, you know? Basically just victimizing herself. Girly for real thinks that she's the main character and no one else matters. Which I guess technically she is the main character, so she's more of just like, why did this have to happen to me, you know? Like, why? Like, she didn't really know her brother that well because there's a big age gap, so she's like, why did that happen? Like, why am I being treated this way, like, at school? I didn't do anything to them. Like, I kind of just existed. Am I just easily bullyable? Like, why, you know? Anyways, little side note / random things. I imagine she does still like cats, but she doesn't own one anymore. Like, well, in this new version, she doesn't have one. Not that it died or something. I imagine she's always wanted a cat, but her parents keep saying no. for some reason. I don't know. I need to think about why they say no, because I feel like it'd make more sense for them to say yes. But it doesn't matter. Oh, you know, it'd be funny if Amy wanted a black cat, but her parents are superstitious, so they're like, no. And she's like, bro, you guys are being stupid. Let me have the black cat. I want it. Anyways, and she also likes, are they called the MP3 players? Those music things that you listen to music on, but like nobody uses them anymore because like we have technology. The little thing you plug in your headphones to and walk around and listen to music on. I imagine that's like the only thing that just keeps her from just snapping, you know, because her parents don't let her have a phone, but they do let her have that, and she just kind of like uses that to just kind of tune everyone else out. She just listens to music and walks around. Sorry. And also she has a skateboard, so she goes on her skateboard and listens to music on it. Anywho, I imagine it's getting closer to summer, and another complaint has been told to her parents. So Amy gets home, and her parents kind of come up to her, and Amy already knows. It's like, oh crap, what did I do this time? So they're like, hey Amy, we need to talk to you. Can you come sit over here with like on the table or whatever? And she's like, okay. And then they sit down and they're like, you're not in trouble. Like, you're not in trouble, but you totally are, kind of thing. At least that's what Amy's thinking. She's like, oh crap, what did I do? They basically just tell her that this summer she's going to go to a summer camp that is for special children. That's what they said, but it's in reality just for troubled children, but they don't tell her that. And Amy already knows. She's like, oh, they're sending me to a camp to correct my behavior. I didn't even do anything. Amy's kind of a little bit upset, but I imagine new Amy is kind of more nonchalant and doesn't really show her expressions that much, so she kind of just gets up and she's like, okay, when am I going to leave? So I imagine it's like something from 2 weeks from now. It doesn't really matter. And Amy's kind of upset, but she's like, okay, well, can I at least bring like my skateboard and my headphone like music thing? And her parents are like, no skateboard. I don't think they will allow that, but I think music should be fine. And she's like, okay. And then she just goes upstairs and her parents are like, I love you. And then she just closes the door and they're like, I hope this camp thing works. Her parents are trying, but they're doing a horrible job. Anyway, so the day comes that Amy has to go to like the camp or whatever. And whatever, she gets on the bus and her parents wave bye to her, but she always has this depressed face of just like, I hate my life. Which most of the time that's not what she's feeling. She just kind of has that face. So whatever, they get to the camp and there's like a bunch of kids and she's like, children. Even though they're all around the same age as her, but she's like, people. She has zero intentions of making friends. She just rather just be alone. So I imagine they were like the last bus to arrive or something, and so there's this person just announcing like, oh, welcome to camp, whatever, and kind of just saying all the rules or whatever. For some reason, Amy has this mentality of she doesn't really need to listen to the rules. Not in a like, I'm a rebel, more of a, this doesn't apply to me. This applies to all of you, but it doesn't apply to me. I just imagine when she grew up, like, her parents didn't really discipline her like hardcore or anything. It was more of, oh, don't do that. And she's like, okay. And then nothing really happened. Like, there wasn't really consequences for her actions. Like, nothing bad happened. So she never really learned that maybe you just shouldn't do certain things. Anyway, so while the, I guess, camp person, I've never really been to camp, so this is based off of cartoons, okay? So leave me alone. Anyways, so while the dude's talking, she kind of just puts in her earbuds and then starts kind of walking on one of these just like nature paths, because like, you know, they're out in the forest. So she's walking on this like trail or whatever, and then she decides to like kind of go off of the trail because she's an idiot. So she ends up just like going in her own path, and then accidentally falls down this like steep, like, it's not a hill, but like this steep area. So she falls, okay? And she just happens to fall in this tunnel thing, kind of Alice in Wonderland style. And then she kind of just blanks out. And then when she wakes up, guess what? She's not on Earth anymore. Wow. Girly just fell all the way to hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not funny. But in reality, she fell in this like portal thing, so it took her to legit another planet. And in the original version, or at least the version that it has been posted on my channel and that has been animated but never finished, I am not going to link the video because you guys are gonna have to find it yourself because it's cringy. Anyways, but in the original version, Vivi Star was the first one to see Amy, but in this version, it's Rain, which it's kind of funny because in like 2 versions ago, Rain was the one to help her, and then it went to went to Vivi Star, and now it's back to Rain. So, anyways, Amy's like, what the frick? Where am I? Why are the trees purple? Why is everything purple? And that's kind of all I got. I know that Rain kind of like sees her and helps her out, and it's kind of like, oh, are you okay? Yeah, you're not from around here, I can tell, kind of thing. But I'm not really sure what directly happens after that. All I know is that they can't find a way back, and Amy is stuck. So I imagine like at the beginning of the story, at least, their goal is to try to get Amy home, but throughout the story, their goals kind of shift. But in the story, like I said, Rain is the first one that Amy meets. So new Rain is way nicer than the original. Like, she's still like very blunt and like, she's still Rain, but she is more considerate now. She's actually a good person, because the old characters, I'm not even sure why they still were a team. Like, old Rain was very mean to everyone, and like Vivi Star, like old Vivi Star and old Rain would clash a lot. And old Silk was such a pushover. Like, they would all be so mean to her. I don't know, I just felt like they weren't really good main characters. I want this version of the main characters for Rain, Vivi Star, and Silk to be like good people and to help like Amy kind of like, they don't help her improve on purpose, they kind of just do it on accident, but just help her improve as a person, and then Amy also give them just a new perspective and why she acts the way she does. Random, now it's time for me to realize that I'm going on autopilot when drawing. The sudden realization. Oh crap, why am I putting her in her normal outfit? You're not supposed to be in her outfit. Dang it, I was going on autopilot. That's okay though, because she was looking pretty whack anyways. Because every year I changed their outfits. Yeah, I was gonna say slightly, but I'm like, no, you actually change it drastically each year. Except for Silk, she's always wearing like this long red dress. Anywho, back to the characters. So new Rain is retired commander. She used to work for the Monster King, which he's kind of the villain in the story. And even now in her little group, she kind of takes charge most of the time, just because that's just what she's used to, and she's also very good at it. And she's learned to just nicely command people, like not talk down to people and be like, you're doing that horribly, do it better, you know? Basically, she's not mean. Old Rain could learn a thing or two with new Rain. So yeah, she's just a firm commander, and she's a good teacher. And also with her character design, I made her way taller. She used to be like 3 feet tall or something. She's not taller than Silk though. Silk will forever be the tallest. And I also changed Rain's body type, because just how I drew her before was too many round shapes, and she was just too squashed down for me to draw. It was just very difficult for me to draw her, so I just changed it. And for Vivi Star, I also kind of changed her body type a little bit, because before she was skinny, and then she got less skinny, and then just got like thicker legs. But now I just made her a stick again, which you can argue that I should have kept the old body type, but like and I also tried to include stars in her like outfit, not in the outfit that I'm drawing now because it's the Christmas outfit, but in her actual outfit, because her name is Vivi Star, not Vivi Heart, because in her original design she had a heart on her forehead. Like, girly, why do you have hearts? Your name's Vivi Star. Oh, I'm so tired right now. I want to go to sleep. But I'm going to record the rest of this voiceover. And for Vivi Star's old personality, she was, you know, the classic bubbly type character, kind of comic relief type thing, you know? And like old Vivi Star didn't really know how to handle like sad things. So she was kind of like, oh, you should just be happy kind of thing. And didn't really show sympathy, but I think it was because she didn't know how to, but it was kind of just annoying. Like, she was so cheerful to the point of it being annoying. But with the new Vivi Star, she's still very cheerful and happy. I almost said happy. But she actually knows how to show sympathy now. She knows when to dial down the cheer factor and sit down and just sympathize with you and be like, yeah, that that really sucks, but I'm here for you kind of thing. And she's still very cheerful and still tries to look on the bright side of things and teaches Amy a thing or two. I imagine there's this scene in the, I guess, hopefully show, where like Vivi Star is playing with some toys or something. I feel like it'd be funny if it was like with these little ponies or something, just like My Little Pony. Anyways, and Vivi Star is playing and she's like, hey Amy, you want to play? And Amy's just like, no, I'm too old to play with those. And she's like, what do you mean? And just like, I'm not playing with toys like a little kid. She's like, but why not? Like, toys make me happy. And Amy's just like, no, we're too old to play with those. And Vivi Star just says, there's not an age limit of just being happy. Some people grow out of playing with toys, but some people still like it even as adults. You can still have a ton of imagination as an adult. Why should we stop doing things that we love if society calls them quote unquote childish? I'd understand if it hurts people, but me playing with my little toy, my little poi toys? What the frick? Pony toys? They're not hurting anyone. So if you don't want to play, that's fine. But if you want to play with me and have some fun with a little bit of imagination, then go right ahead. I won't judge you. And I imagine Amy just sits down with the ponies and she's like, I'll try. And then they just start playing with the ponies and Vivi Star's like, hi, my name is Princess Sparkleface. And then Amy just looks at her and she's like, that's a stupid name. And then Vivi Star is just like, whoa, what's your horse's name? She kind of looks at Vivi Star for a second and then looks at the horse and looks back at her and she's like, Sergeant Pickles. And then they just continue playing and Vivi Star is like, how was your day, Sergeant Pickles? And then Amy's just like, I just came back from war or something like that. And they just start playing. So yeah, and I feel like Rain kind of teaches Rain teaches Amy to be more disciplined, you know? And then Vivi Star teaches Amy to have a little bit of fun. And then Silk teaches her to be nice to other people and to believe in herself. So with Silk's new character design, I changed her face shape actually to something a little bit more masculine, literally just because I just like drawing that face shape. Because Silk and Amy had the same face shape and I just wanted it to be just a little bit different. Because they both already have basically the same nose, so I'm like, nyeh. Anyways, I imagine Rain actually commanded Silk or whatever, so they know each other. And Silk was some sort of guard, so Silk is very strong, like girly has muscles. We love that. And for her character design, I thought it'd be cool if a lot of her outfit could be white to contrast with Chester's usually black suit. Kind of like a yin and yang kind of thing. And also, I tried to get rid of the orange, I guess. Like, her hair is still orange, you know, because, like, I don't know, I like it. But I didn't like that her whole outfit was orange, and her eyes were orange. Everything was orange. Then again, Vivi Star and Rain are both just very much one color, but Silk was too much orange. I don't know, maybe I just don't like orange or something. I also chopped off, like, a lot of her hair. One, just because, I don't know, I don't like that her hair was in a ponytail. It just seems a little boring to me. And also that just doesn't make sense for someone who's very active, because like someone who's literally a guard because their hair can get yanked or something. It's not very practical. And I also just slowly but surely kind of made her hair in this shape that reminds me of a butterfly. So I don't know, maybe I'll incorporate the butterfly aspect into her character. Like, I actually debated on giving her like a butterfly tattoo or a tattoo of some sort, because I don't know, I think that might be cool, but I haven't done anything with that idea yet. I imagine Silk is very elegant but very strong. She knows how to control her strength, and Rain taught her very well. To the point of like Silk learning other things, so they're both very skilled but in different fields, so they're both equally great. I do still think that Silk has this kind of still pushover aspect. Like, sometimes she could be too kind, and like she kind of puts other people before herself and thinks she's less than other people for some reason. Like, Girly's great, but she just thinks that everyone else is better. Not in a, oh, I suck, more of a, oh, I want to help the other person before myself. Like, Girly, if you can't help yourself first, don't help other people. You need to be okay to help other people. It's like, don't light yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Anyways, but she has a very similar way of teaching, because I do imagine in the story that Silk teaches a thing or two to Amy as well on just archery, because Silk does archery and bow and arrow stuff. Yippee! And I feel like it'd be funny if Amy just low-key kind of thought that all of them were super cool, but she didn't ever show it. She was just like, oh, whatever. But in her head, she's like, whoa, that is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen. Can you teach me? But on the outside, she's like, okay. And I also feel like Amy teaches them things as well. Like, Amy teaches Silk to be more self-confident, and like, she is very much worth things and to not over-apologize. She's just like, dude, you don't owe me nothing. Don't apologize to me. Like, I'm nobody, man. Like, not to put me down, but like, you are the main character in your story. Like, I don't matter. Just put yourself first, man. Like, it sounds selfish, but if you don't put yourself first, then like, how are you gonna take care of other people? Because I feel like Silk's toxic trait is not caring about herself enough and just caring too much about others, and then Amy's toxic trait is caring too much about herself and not enough about others. So then they both just teach each other the other thing, so then they both just balance each other out. And I also imagine something similar would happen with the other two characters. I just still need to figure it out because, like I said, I'm still kind of in the early stages of just rethinking this story, and also this is not the only story that's in my head, you know, so this might take a while, and this is not priority. This is just something that's kind of been in my head, and I'm finally getting around to just sharing it with you guys. And oh my goodness, I didn't even talk about Chester at all. That's mostly because I didn't really change anything. I'm mostly just getting rid of trauma, which is like, shocker, oh my god, I'm not adding any? It's because he has too much trauma. I didn't know that was possible. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll dial back some of the things that happened to him, or just full on exchange it, or just get rid of it. I don't know, because bro has a lot of things going on. He went to jail twice. He got hurt like 2 to 3 times. He almost died. He got abused by there's a love triangle going on. He has this weird purple fire power thing apparently that he has. His mom died. His dad was already dead before the story started. And on top of all of that, he has 2 demons that talk to him. So, yay. So I know, I haven't really touched Chester though, because I don't know. Out of everything, he was the most, like, he's the thing I liked the most, so I'm kind of just fixing everything else before I come back to him, I guess. There's probably some other things that I forgot to mention, but I've been talking about this topic for too long now, so I'm gonna change it now. So in my drawing process, when I'm done sketching, instead of doing line art, I actually color, because I'm sick and tired of the line art smudging, so I can't smudge it if there's no line art, you know? So what I typically end up doing is I just like kind of harden the lines that I want to be there. So like the colored pencil is kind of quote unquote like line art, you know? And then I just add the colors, and then depending on like how dark the marker is, I use this other either line art or pencil to darken it, like a colored pencil or something, and I kind of just color, you know? It's not that deep, bro. Sometimes you just gotta art. It's not that hard. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, there is something I forgot to say. So with Amy, I also chopped all of her hair off. Well, not all of it. She's not bald. She's bald, and she's torturing people who have hair. Is that how the audio goes? Anyways, I just feel like Amy wasn't the type to have just really long hair. To be honest, I just feel like she's not really a girly girl, and maybe even borderline like tomboy or something. I don't know. But using the phrase tomboy kind of makes me cringe a little bit, because I feel like I'm Amy in that sense, but I do not give myself the label of tomboy, because ugh. And honestly, I think Amy's the one who cut her hair, and she probably cut it too short, and she's like, oh crap. Well, anyways, and then her parents are like, what did you do? And she's like, oh, this? Oh, I just cut it. And she's like, why did you do that? I'm like, because I wanted to. This is random, but I realize I like say people in random kind of, I'm not good with grammar, basically. Like one moment I'm talking about Amy, and then I say I as if I'm Amy, or with other characters, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know, I guess, as if I'm talking as the character. But then sometimes I even misgender my own characters. I'm like, oh, he, and then I don't even notice during the whole sentence or something. I don't think that happened today, but that has happened. Like, I even misgendered other people and myself on multiple occasions. I'm like, what even is gender? You know, like, I just do it on accident. I also sometimes confuse my characters' names, and there has been quite a few times with one of my friends, the one I was talking about earlier. I used to call her Silk like a couple times on accident. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. So yeah, everyone is just one and the same to me, apparently. That also reminds me, this one time, this boy called me a he, or like something along those lines, and I'm just like, what? And he's like, and like, I didn't really say much, like I didn't correct him, but the other guys who were there just like, you called her a he, and they're the guy is just like, oh crap, I'm sorry, I'm just used to calling everyone he because I'm around boys a lot. And I'm like, In my head, I'm like, that's funny. Anywho, back to the drawing. I was trying to think of what kind of outfits to give the characters this year, and I just went to Pinterest and just like looked around for some. I don't know how y'all get distracted on Pinterest. Like, I understand if you don't know what to draw and you try to look for an idea on Pinterest and then you get distracted. But for me, I either go on Pinterest to get distracted or go on Pinterest for a specific reason. Like, I usually either need outfits or need like a drawing meme or something because I don't know what to draw, so I specifically look on Pinterest and search up what to draw or like drawing challenges or something instead of just scrolling on my For You page. Anyways, that was so random. I just probably called out like a bunch of random people. I'm sorry. I still love you, buddies, okay? Anyways, but I just looked for like Christmas outfit ideas or something because I feel like a lot of the Christmas outfits are so boring. So I just put ideas instead of it giving me just straight up like a red dress, Santa, like Amazon kind of things. I'm like, no. So I was looking around and then I got the idea for Vivi Star to kind of be like kind of gingerbread man a little bit, like inspired kind of thing. And then Chester, I already made up his outfit before even going on Pinterest, so he's fine. And also Silk, I already know what I wanted her to wear. But for Rain, I'm like, oh, what do you wear? Because in the other years, I always kind of made her wear a dress. Like, all the girls wore a dress, but I'm like, come on, be original. Like, Rain and Amy are not really girly girls. So then I thought it'd be cool if Rain could be, what are those things those people called? Those like, oh crap, those marching bands kind of people. I don't know, my brain said that would be a good idea. Somewhere in my head that said that was related to Christmas, but now thinking about it, I don't think it is. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, I don't know. And it also still gave the Commander Rain vibes, so yeah. And for Amy, I'm like, no more dress for you, dear. I don't know, in all the other years, she just gave me that like that kid that just wears something slightly fancy. I don't know why I don't like it. It's like those cheap kid dresses, and I'm just like, no. So yeah, I did something, I guess it's not sleeveless because there's like very short sleeves, but just doing that so it could still feel a little fancy. So yeah, I actually really like Amy's outfits, and I actually like everyone's outfit this year. I think I did pretty good. And I also tried to make everyone interact a little bit. So Vivi Star is kind of like nudging Chester, being like, hey yo, good job, you're with Silk or something. And then Chester is kind of like a little flustered but kind of happy because Silk is just like kind of grabbing him. I don't know, just grabbing him sounds really wrong. But like kind of, I guess, welcoming him into the group, be like, hey, you're welcome here, it's all good. And then to connect Silk to Rain, I guess, Silk is putting her arm on Rain's shoulder. Sorry, my brain tweaked out. And then Rain is fist bumping Amy, and Amy's kind of looking away, kind of like, okay, I'm kind of getting used to you guys, but I'm not gonna show it because I'm too cool, apparently. A thing that does annoy me about the pose, though, of Silk, it's like, I feel like her pose doesn't match her facial expression. I feel like her pose is very confident, and then her face is, like, not. Because, like, I realized that after I already sketched out the pose. I'm like, I'm not gonna change this. Too bad kind of thing. I didn't want to redraw it. I feel like I'm pretty happy with how this year's drawing turned out, actually. I think it's because I actually gave myself way more time to actually draw it, because typically I give myself like 3 to 4 days to draw the drawing before the deadline, because the deadline is like the 24th for me. But this year I started, I think, in the first week of December, or maybe the second week, I don't know, just because I have a lot of stuff to do this month, and I don't think I'll have time to just give myself like 3 to 4 days before then to edit the video. So yeah, anywho, 2025 is coming. Oh, that feels weird to say. I would say this year has gone by fast, but I feel like everyone says that every year, so like, let me say something original. It's like, yeah, I guess it's gone by fast, but if you also really think about every single thing you did this year, it's like, whoa, I did a lot. And it's also kind of just made me reflect on like where I was in the beginning of this year and where I am now. And like, I knew someone in the beginning of this year, and it's been a full year now of me not talking to that person. I'm not gonna say what happened because I'm just not going to. But there isn't really a day that goes by that they don't just come into my mind, and I'm just like, ugh. I don't think they watch my videos anymore, but if you are, I'm still thinking about you. So yeah. Just to clarify, I am not angry at this person, okay? Anywho, and then now, not necessarily that I have made a new friend or someone new has come into my life. It's more of someone that I've known for quite a while, but only recently have had a deeper bond with them, which makes me happy, but also makes me worry because that's just how I am. Because this new stuff has happened around the same time. New stuff happened, not last year, but like the year before. Basically, the stuff from last year happened in November, which it's not last year, but basically, it's all happening around the same time, and I'm just scared that history is going to repeat itself. There we go. Which, a part of me is like, hey, people come and go in your life, and that's just a part of how life works, you know? It's going to be okay, you know? And then the other part of me just still worries, and it's like, but what if it's not okay? What if I can't get over this, you know? And then the secret third part of me is like, it'll all be funny in the end. In fact, this isn't even happening to you. This is happening to your weird fleshy body. It's not actually happening to you. You're just sitting back and watching everything unfold like a little movie. So then the three little different personalities in my head just keep fighting with each other. We have the reasonable one, the worried one, and then the crazy one. The one who gives me Jack vibes. Not Jack, Jax from the Amazing Joe Circus. There you go. What the frick? I'm hearing a child scream outside. Why is the child screaming? Okay. I was about to say that she's fine, but then she screamed again. Okay, I think that's child screaming just to scream. Anyways, even though I ended a friendship, I guess, in the beginning of this year, and I'm kind of starting a new one, even though I've known this person for a while. The person who has been through this, like, been here for me this whole time, there's a friend that I've known for 4 years. I'm extremely grateful for them. Like, dude, they're one of my longest friends. I'm not sure if they're watching this right now because I think they don't watch my longer content because they have a life. But I don't know, they just listen to my rambles and my worries and, like, I don't know. I'm just grateful for them. We have a good time. I wonder what's going to be in store for me next year. I wonder how many good things, how many horrible things will happen next year. Like, am I going to get my driver's license? Am I going to go to college? Am I going to make merch? Gasp. Where am I going to be at the end of next year? Channel wise, you know, because in the beginning of this year I had like about 1K, and I'm probably gonna have 10K now because I haven't reached it at the time of me editing this video. So I just wonder where my channel is gonna be next year, and it's just like, dang. And like I said earlier, a part of me is like, hey, it's gonna be all right. The other part of me is like, oh my god, what's going on? And then the third part of me is like, this is funny. Which I guess is also why I just have literally the same person, but like I have Pinkink and then how I draw myself, you know, because Pinkink is the excitable, kind of more optimistic kind of like side of me, and then me in real life is the more, I guess, catastrophizing and like not like nonchalant, as my friend describes me, because sometimes I just really don't care, but I don't tell someone I don't because that's mean. Like, whenever I text someone, I try to be nice because, like, you can't hear my tone of voice through text, so I might say something and it might sound really mean, like, through text, and you don't understand that I don't mean it in a mean way. It's just how I texted it. So I try to be, like, more energetic through text most of the time because, I don't know, I hate texting so bad. I prefer calling, so, yeah. Because, I don't know, like, it depends on the person, too. Like, if I meet someone new and, like, we've been friends, but, like, it's still kind of new, if they tell me something that's kind of more sad, or, like, for example, one of their animals died or something, I wouldn't know how to react. I'd be like, on the outside, I'd be like, oh, man, I'm so sorry, I guess, you know? But in my head, I'm like, I don't have a pet. How does that feel? Like, I try to sympathize with them, even though it's kind of hard for me. I just try to do the thing that people expect me to do, because, I don't know, I try to put myself in the other person's shoes and like, okay, what would they want me to react? Because it's not that I don't care for these people, it's just sometimes I find their reaction more interesting to the point where I forget to put emotions into what I say. Like, I have this one friend that they told me something, I don't remember what it was, but I said, okay. Or like, oh, that's cool. And then I realized that I'm like, oh wait, I didn't put emotion into that. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that sounded sarcastic, but I meant it. And she's like, yeah, I know you. Like, I know how you are. And I'm like, oh, okay. Dang, I freaking hate when I blow into the microphone too hard and makes that like windy sound. Like, I freaking hate it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm one of a kind. Oh, I'm so special. I'm so stupid. Okay, wait, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like recalling past things that people have said to me, and they're just like, oh, you're so nice, like, you're so kind, oh my gosh, I've never met anyone like you before, you're so mature. And I'm just like, what? I'm just doing what I think other people would do in this situation. Like, what do you mean that was nice? What? Like, what else I was supposed to do? Like, not see if you were okay? Like, I don't understand. And sometimes I do question myself on why did I do the thing I just did. Like, oh, why did I reach out to this person? Why did I see if they're okay? Like, why do I care about them? And I'm like, Nyla, you don't need to think into these things. Oh crap, I just said my real name. Wait, I try not to say my real name because I want you guys to remember me as Pinkink, not my real name, which I don't care if you guys know my real name or not. I just want you to remember me as Pinkink, because like, if you need to look me up, you remember it as Pinkink. Anyways, that was dumb. Anywho, I was talking about me being an interesting person. Basically, to sum it up, I literally had a conversation with my friend that I've been friends with for 4 years the other day, and I don't know, I think I lost it on that phone call for like 2 seconds because I just started rambling to them about me just being a bad person or something, or legit just me being crazy, and they're like, dude, why do you think you're a bad person? You literally did nothing. Like, what the frick are you talking about? I don't know. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to my friend, not to you. Ha. Anyways, I think I'm rambling so long that I'm even losing what I'm even talking about. Anyways, Christmas. That was a smooth transition, right? And I know some of you guys don't celebrate Christmas. You probably do something else like Hanukkah or some other holiday. I don't know. But I do Christmas. So, yeah, I guess for the rest of you, happy holidays or something. And, oh, some of you guys probably don't even celebrate anything. Have a happy day. Oh, and buddies, my birthday's, next month, January. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm tweaking out, like, it's in the first, no, it's not in the first week. It's like literally 8 days. It's not 7 days. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to have a party or go somewhere, because like I want to party, but I don't want to party because like the last time I had a party, which it was casino themed, it was very chaotic. Like I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. So I don't know what to do. Help. Because if I did a party, I would want it to be like clown themed, but I don't want it to be like circus clowns. But it's like, what other clowns are you freaking talking about? Like in my brain, it's kind of like pastel / kidcore kind of clowns. I don't know, like the primary colors and like plus white and very like vibrant, but that's very specific. And I'm like, we would need decorations, and I'm like, okay, this is already getting too complicated. And I'm just like, why don't we go on vacation? I'm like, where would you go? And I'm like, what if, I don't know, well, what if my friends could go? I'm like, that's a lot of coordinating. That also sounds complicated. And it's like, I don't want to just do nothing. I don't want to just go somewhere to eat, because I could just do that any weekend. You know, I want to do something special, you know. And last year I went to shopping, because it was actually this year. I went to the mall like twice, and I got stuff, and that was nice, I guess, but it didn't feel special for some reason, and it kind of made me tweak out last year, so I don't want to do that either. Basically, I just want to do something that makes it feel like it's my birthday, and the only thing that makes it feel like it's my birthday is a birthday party, because it's freaking called a birthday party. Anyways, I need to stop tweaking out about that. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the birthday party thing, but I'm not really sure what the guests are gonna do, instead of just chill there, but that's kind of boring. But at the same time, I don't really feel like doing anything. Like, I noticed I tend to not participate in like games of any sort. I like watching people play instead. I just like spectating and seeing how people do things. Oh crap, this video is gonna be 15 minutes long. I need to wrap this thing up. Anywho, I added the last finishing touches. Finishing? What the frick did I say? I added the date and then I was done. So here's the Christmas drawing from 2020, the first one. It feels like I didn't know how to draw legs properly that year. year, and sometimes I feel like I still don't. Anywho, now we got 2021. I would say a huge improvement. I don't know, I think between 2020 and 2021 was the year of just learning. And I would say you can really tell. Not a fan of how I drew their feet though, but whatever. And then 2022. It feels like all the characters got skinnier and smaller. Especially Rain. I'm not really sure what happened to her. And it seems like I also tried colored line art that year as well. I also do like the lights at the top. And then we have 2023, last year's drawing. I remember I was kind of tweaking out doing this drawing last year, and that I really struggled with Chester's pose. I think just Chester in general didn't have a good year. I don't like his clothes. And Silk's dress feels awkwardly cut at the bottom, so yeah. I do like how I drew Vivi Star though. I think she's very cute. And now 2024, this year's drawing. The one where I decided to just change their character designs. Very satisfied with all their clothing. I don't know, I like it. I don't really like the Christmas tree though, and I feel like it's funny how much the Christmas tree changes in each year's drawing. Like, how many different ways can you draw that one tree? So yeah, I've done this 5 times, which kind of confuses me because it's 2024. So I'm like, no, 4 times. I'm like, no, there's 2020. I'm like, I see. I also made the little presents coordinate with each character. Oh dang, this video is 50 minutes. Which is so funny because when I first started this channel, like my videos would be like 1, 2, 3 minutes long. A video would be really long if it was 10 minutes. Now I'm making freaking 50-minute videos. Oh my god. It's probably because I got a new tablet. Well, it's not new anymore, but like, it has a lot of storage, so that's good. I don't know, it's just interesting to see how far I've come, you know? Especially with these Christmas drawings and also, I guess, Halloween drawings as well. Which, speaking of, I'll leave a link to the playlist of the Halloween and Christmas drawings that I do every year. Anyways, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna post this, so, Happy Christmas, I don't know. I hope you like this video, buddies, and I'll see you the next time I get out of my grave. Oh my gosh, I want to change this end screen so bad, but I'm not really sure to what, because I'm not vibing with how it looks anymore, and I don't really like the music anymore either. I don't know, it just feels old. Maybe I should put something kind of being like, oh, hey, I have other socials, or, oh, if you want to send me fan art, I have a Gmail, and it's in the description, or something, I don't know. Wait, not description, I meant, my bio. Yeah.